Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Rosina Sharon, and today we're doing makeup on this very beautiful soul over here, also my former student. And you guys have been waiting for caramel skin on my channel for a long time, so today we have it. And we're going to start off with the eyebrows as always. Brush them up using a spoolie first before we start lining. And today we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to use an eyebrow gel instead of an eye pencil to line her eyebrows. So because her skin tends to lie around the oily side, I don't like using eye pencil for oily skin, because with time the pencil starts to look like it's melting. I don't like it unless you're using a very matte eye pencil. Otherwise I would prefer using a gel instead of an eye pencil when it comes to oily skin. So that is what we're going to use to line her brows. And then before we start filling in, we're going to use the soap technique. So we're going to use that the foam from soap to brush through her eyebrows, and then make sure you press it in completely fast and then allow it to dry completely before you start filling in. And to fill in, we're going to use the very same eyebrow gel we use to line, and around the inner corner we're going to draw hair-like structures. And then after that we're going to clean her brows using the LA Girl Pro concealer in the shade medium beige. For her we're going for the shade medium beige. That is a concealer 2 shades lighter than her skin tone. And then we're going to use a flat brush to clean the eyebrows, and then always drag the concealer down as you go, so it's easier to blend in when you're done. And then after that we're going to use the Plouise eyeshadow base to set her lids. We're going to start off from the lower lid going up, so we don't use a lot of product around the upper lid. So after that, for eyeshadow today we're going to start off with Raina Beauty, the Royalty palette, and I'm going to for the shade Waridi. This eyeshadow is very pigmented, let me tell you. It's a local brand, it's a local Kenyan brand, and I'm so impressed at how pigmented this eyeshadow is. Can you guys see that? So we're going to apply that around at the outer corner, focusing that mostly around the outer corner. We wanted to go for a bold eye today. So after that we're going to use a lighter shade of brown to blend in that first transition we use. So we're going to blend that in around the upper lid, and then we're going to drag this towards the inner corner. And when it comes to blending, we're using circular motions and very little force. And then after that we're just going to blend through the crease region for any creases first before we apply eyeshadow around the crease region. And the eyeshadow we're using is this Morphe number 35. It was discontinued, unfortunately. This eyeshadow palette was discontinued. I don't even want to show it because you wouldn't find it in the market. And then after that, for eyeliner we're going for Inglot. This is the darkest ever gel eyeliner you can find. It's amazing. So that is what we're going to use, and I'm just going to do a very tiny line as close to her natural lash line as possible. And then after that, do some falsies on her. Again guys, we were going for a bold eye for her, and then we can move on to skin. So moving on to the skin, on her bare skin we're going to start off with the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid, and we're just going to apply that all over her skin, all over her skin. Then we're going to wait for it to set first. I did moisturizer, but unfortunately I lost the footage for moisturizer. So after moisturizing, we're moving on to priming. For moisturizer, I use the Bondi Sands SPF 50 sunscreen. It is a very hydrating sunscreen, so if you use that you don't need to add more moisturizer on top of it. And then now we're doing primer, and for primer we're using this Rimmel Stay Matte primer. And then for her, because her skin tends to lie towards oily skin, I'm just going to apply the primer generously on almost all the areas, especially where she has open pores around the nose, forehead and lips. And then after that we're going to use the Fenty Beauty foundation. This is in the shade 370. Let me tell you, how this foundation matched her skin, I was amazed. I was so it's very hard for you to find a light foundation that has a yellow undertone. It's very, very hard. Most of them have pale undertones. So if your client comes to you and she has a yellow undertone, her skin has a yellow undertone, it's very hard to match that, because most of these foundations just come looking pale, so she ends up looking whitish or rather pale. But this one had a very, very amazing yellow undertone to it, and it matched her skin to perfection. And then the brush I'm using is a Fenty Beauty foundation brush. So nowadays I've become so fond of Fenty Beauty, let me tell you. I've become so fond of Fenty Beauty, especially the foundation and the foundation brush. It's amazing how it works. So I'm just going to apply that first, and then before we move on to highlighting using a concealer, I'm going to add a bit of blush, an orange blush around her cheeks before we highlight with the concealer. So next to highlight, I'm just using the very same concealer I used to clean her brows. That is a Girl Pro concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze. And then to blend in concealer, you guys know I prefer blending in concealer with a beauty blender instead of a brush. So that is what we're going to use. So to highlight, I'm just using highlighting her under eye, bridge of the nose, and the little product I'm going to use on the bridge of the nose is what I'm going to bring it up to the forehead as well. I did not want to do too much highlighting on the forehead, because this highlighter again has a pale undertone, so I did not want to take away from the yellow undertone on the foundation. I did not want it to overpower the yellow undertone, so I'm using very little around the forehead. And then after that, to set the highlighter, we're using Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And for this, you dip the beauty blender, the side where it has product, okay, onto the product, and then blow off the excess powder on the beauty blender first before you use that to set. And the technique here is just to tap, or rather just press it into the skin until all the powder is absorbed into the skin, until there is no residue. And we're going to set all the areas we highlighted using a concealer, that is under eye, bridge of the nose, forehead, and a bit around the lip. And then sometimes I double set the under eye, especially if I know my client is going to be dancing. Maybe in the evening, I double set around that area. Instead of baking, I just double set. So after we are done with that, we are going to contour, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me finishing powder in the shade number 360. I did not want to do something that is going to be too dark. And then around her cheeks, I'm just going to use a bronzer instead of a contour. So I'm just bronzing using the Cara Beauty bronzer palette. And then after that, we are going to set her face using the Milani's Make It Last setting spray. Moving on to the lips, we wanted to go with something that matches her eyeshadow. So we're going to start off by lip lining with Davis number 3 lip liner. This is a dark brown lip liner. And then make sure you blend in the lip liner first before you apply lipstick on top, okay? Make sure you blend in the lip. It's very important. Make sure you blend in the lip liner completely. You don't want your lips looking like they have like one big line going all around the lip without blending. Looks ridiculous. So after that, I'm just going to mix the two. It's a red and a pink lipstick together. It has such a beautiful color when you mix the two of them together. So that is what we're going to go with. Apply the lipstick, and then we are going to apply a bit of gloss on top of the lipstick after we are done. And after we're done, that is it. That is it for me today, guys. That is it. Let me know what you think about this whole look on the comment section down below. And again, please let me know which look you would want me to do, because I know it has been a while since I've been here. I've been too busy lately, but I'm back. So let me know what look you would want me to do a tutorial on my face, because the next look will be me doing makeup on my face. Let me know what tutorial you would love to see from me. And thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you very much. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. That is it from me, guys. Bye bye.